Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing a knife review of a fusion knife by SOG, as you can see right on top of the box. The model is the Salute. Now, this is how the knife comes to you, just like this. Besides the box, you also get a piece of paperwork here, which I've unfolded. They show a lot of different offerings from the company, from multi-tools to high-end folders to fixed blades. And on the reverse side, all the products here outlined in green are part of their Fusion line. And Fusion line being just a more affordable line. I would say it's very, very comparable to Benchmade's Red Class or the Bird line from Spyderco, where they're products that are made overseas, but there's still a high attention to detail and quality control mostly. But again, being more affordable to you guys, so they're more accessible to a lot more people. I mean, not everyone has a lot of money to spend on a knife, nor wants to spend a lot of money on a knife. But like I said, these are very comparable to, like I said, Benchmade's Red Class and Spyderco's Bird line. You're getting a lot of knife for the money, for sure. And speaking of money, let's talk about cost. Now, SOG's website shows this a retail of $50, but again, you're not going to be expected to pay full MRSP, manufacturer's retail suggested price. I've done a little bit of research on this, and these are across the board about $30. You're going to find these for $30, give or take a couple bucks. I've seen as low as $25 and as high as $35, but it's definitely going to be in that price range. I'll start off like usual with some specs on the knife. The overall length of the whole knife is 8.25 inches. The blade itself is 3.6 inches long, and the weight is 4.2 ounces. Blade steel is an 8CR13 MOV, which I've talked about in previous videos, which is, again, used by Benchmade, as well as the Bird line. Benchmade also uses another steel that's comparable to this, but it's definitely a good steel for the money. For the price range you're paying, it's definitely going to perform for you a lot better than other cheaper knives. So I'm happy with the, again, for the price, this blade steel they've chosen. Some features about this knife that I really like, two specifically. One is their low riding clip, which SOG puts on a lot of their knives, and I actually have the little pants pocket here to show you how that rides in the pocket. There you have it. So you don't have a whole lot sticking out. It is a low ride clip, which I like. It's very easy to use. It doesn't really snag up on your pocket. As you see, very easy to put in and out of the pocket. The pocket clip is an issue for a lot of people on different knives. SOG does it right, I have to say. A lot of the bigger name brands, they do have good clips, but a lot of companies do have issues with their clips, and I've never had an issue with SOG's pocket clips. They're tight where it's not going to fall out of your pocket, but it's not so ridiculously tight that you're struggling getting in and out of your pocket. No, it's really good. So no problems with the clip whatsoever. The other main design on this knife specifically that I really, really like, and I kind of wish all the knife companies had some knife in their line that has this this feature, and that would be this adjustable thumb stud. Okay, it has a double thumb stud for lefty or right hand use, but it is adjustable. Now when you get this knife, it's going to come smack dead in the middle here, okay, and I've actually adjusted it over just a little. If I actually hold the knife like this, I moved it up a little, or if I hold it like this, I moved it to the right a little. You can see the space is a little less on the right hand side than it is on the left hand side, and the reason it's adjustable is so that it fits where your thumb is, which is awesome. It's nothing short of just a pretty cool feature. A lot of people don't have the choice. Wherever the thumb stud is, you're stuck with it, but this is cool. It's a very cool feature. It makes it more comfortable opening for me. Anything you can do to kind of personalize your knife to better fit you is definitely a plus in my book, without a doubt. So I did adjust it up just a little bit, so it just lands right where my thumb is. Very, very easy. So I really, really like that feature on this knife. Let's talk about some downsides. Now, there's no real perfect knife. There's a lot of knives that come close, but all knives have little dinky issues here and there. And with this one, it's really not a big deal. Some knives are kind of off-putting for different reasons. This one, my issues with this knife is actually kind of minor. One issue being the weight. These are steel lined, and they have G10 handle scales. Now, steel and G10 is not very light. It's extremely durable. I mean, this thing will not break on you. However, with the liners, they did not drill it out on the inside to lighten it up. It's not a huge issue for me. Weight is not a very big issue for me, but it is something I wanted to mention because I do understand it is for some people. 4.2 ounces for a little over 3.5-inch blade. Not that bad. I would say that's pretty average, in the knife industry. For a medium to large size tactical folder like this is. The only thing I really had an issue with, and even though I really had an issue with it, it wasn't a deal breaker for me. I still love this knife. Was actually this portion right here. Now I know this is part of the design as far as it looks, but the liners stick out past where the scales are, the G10 scales. And by the way, you can attach a lanyard point. You can use these as lanyard points if you wanted, if you want to throw a lanyard on here. But my problem with it is that because these are somewhat thin steel liners, when I really grip this knife, it kind of digs in. And you can maybe see, if I really squeeze this thing, you can kind of see the markings just a little bit. It's not a huge deal. It's just if I expect if I were to use this knife really hard that I want it to be comfortable. So that's my only real issue. I kind of wish they either extended the handle scales out to be even with this, or perhaps just lopped that off and kept it even with the scales. Again, this is it's a hard combination when you're designing knives. You have to have them functional. Obviously, you want them to be comfortable to use and easily functional, like I said. But there's aesthetics that are involved. You want it to look cool and look really nice. And I understand that this design feature here is more for looks and not as much for function. I mean, it feels good in the hand, like I said, with a light to moderate pressure. But if you really grip down on this, just a little bit on the uncomfortable side. But again, it's not a deal breaker for me. I still really like this knife a lot. Lockup on this, amazing. I mean, bank vault lockup. This kind of reminds me of the MOD knives, Masters of Defense. They make a great product, but their products aren't cheap. You're talking 100 plus for their knives, and this knife actually locks up. I mean, I'm really trying to wiggle this around. Locks up like a bank vault. It is a lockback knife here. There is jimping on the lockback portion of it, so you can't miss that. There is a little bit of grip there to quickly, release that lock if you needed to. Pivot is adjustable to take out any blade play. However, there is simply none in this knife. Fantastic lockup on this. Ergonomics, again, my only issue being with this. I have to say, though, it's very comfortable in the hand. I talked very fondly about the Benchmade Pika 2. This is actually, I would say, its biggest competition. For the price, and again, around $30, same as the Pika 2. Similar blade shape, similar size. After getting this knife, I would probably actually suggest this. If you're into SOG knives more than Benchmade to begin with, then you probably want to go with this. But I have to say, I like this one a little bit more. From the people I've talked to, they had some issues where the Pika 2 wasn't consistent. In other words, I got a really good one, but one person I talked to, the blade was a little bit bent out from the factory. Another person I talked to, their edge didn't come very sharp, and there's different issues. But so far I talked to 3 different people who own this Fusion Salute, and they seem to be very consistent with the overall quality here. So very happy with this knife. So again, if you're out there looking for a cheaper knife, I know a lot of my viewers are younger and they don't have the bank accounts to support a huge knife interest and collection. If you just want a relatively cheap knife that looks pretty cool, very form-fitting and functional, I mean, you can really use this knife, and if for some reason you lost it or something happened to it, you wouldn't be devastated because it is more affordable, so easily replaceable. So that is my review of the SOG Fusion Salute. I do want to mention there are a couple different versions of this. This one happens to have the black oxide coating on it. There is a plain version of this, though, if you do not like black coated blades. So if that's an issue for you, there are different versions of this knife. So I hope you enjoy the review. I thank you for watching it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.